and the new one's starting to go in, so that's good. If I
Okay, so
ever needed wind therapy, bro, it's now. Uh, took a bike. Are we live now?
yeah, we live right now. You were breaking up. Oh, I was getting ready to tell you.
Oh,
I
hold
wasn't
on
trying
one
to go
sec.
live. I was sharing it to your page, but it still jumped on. So yeah, we live now.
Cool.
My bad. But I mean, if you ain't ready, you can still. You got a
Oh
little
no, I'm
time.
good, bro. I'm good. You see my videos? I'm like just waking up, hair everywhere, shaving. I ain't got no kind of style or nothing.
So let me ask
So,
you this: Where you from? Where you from?
St. Louis.
That's
I,
where you at
I,
right now.
yeah, I lived on the Missouri side till 8th grade, and then my mom yanked us out of Dad's house at the end of 8th grade. We moved over to the east side, over there, East St. Louis, Washington Park, Caseyville, Belleville, that whole area, St. Clair County.
So like, give us a because I'm from Houston, so I mean I didn't heard of some of that, but I don't just know like what is that? Is it predominantly white, black, or is it a mixture? You know what
It,
I'm saying?
our neighborhood was a mix of everything.
Right,
Mostly East St. Louis, mostly black. You got some Hispanic, very few whites in East St. Uh, where I grew up, most time places I was living in, it was more white, but it's about half and half nowadays. Uh, but
right.
the neighborhood, Carla, we had friends that were Mexican, white, black. We just all we grew up together. You know
Right,
how it
right,
is. Your
right,
friends are the people you grow up with.
right. That's what it's about. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. But you know, your exterior, a person that might think something different, and that's the connection that people don't understand. It ain't about the person exterior, it's their interior. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what you be doing, brother, but all I do is hear you helping a lot of people, bro. All I hear you do, I gotta go get this guy. Who is Nate Dogg, man?
Oh, that's my best friend, Nate. Dog. We've
Yeah.
been. I met him. I got kicked out of the first high school freshman year, and
Uh-huh.
they sent me to one of them Catholic schools, and
Uh-huh.
I didn't fit in too well, and so I got
Yeah.
kicked out of there, and then I went to West at Belleville West, and I met Nate my sophomore year. He's more a brother than a friend. I mean, we got a
Right,
lot of
right, right,
history.
right. Right. Now I'm cause like he staying some shit, man. How old you is Tashunka?
I'm 56. I'll be
56, 56.
57 next July. I was born in '68.
Uh-huh. So I
I
mean,
did.
just tell me a little bit like your life. Was it rough? Like was it gang violence? Was it, you know what I'm saying? Like
It, it was, it was. There was a lot of serious mental abuse and physical abuse. My dad
right,
liked to put his hands on everything. Uh, when my mom and dad
Okay.
got divorced, uh, my dad had no parental rights whatsoever. But my mother, the guy that used to babysit us, he raped my mother, and he
Mm-hmm.
threatened her if she called the police. So we went to live with my dad and stepmom
Uh-huh.
for our protection. And that whole time I was there, that fucking bitch, she's a wicked bitch, man. Just trifling. Always,
Ooh.
she likes stirring shit up. My stepmom, she was
Oh,
always
okay,
telling
yeah.
me, your mother didn't love you. She didn't want you. You gave her stomach aches, and I remember the bloody mattress. I remember the cops being there with them giant walkie talkies back in the day. But and I understand you don't tell a young kid like that, hey, your mom was violently raped, but you don't for a woman to tell a kid, that your mom didn't love you, she didn't want you, she couldn't handle you, knowing that ain't true. That's just some whacked out shit right there. And
And that's what I'm saying. Some people are just mean for no motherfucking reason. Like, you know what I'm
this
saying? Like, And that'll traumatize you as a child through
Well,
your
this bitch is she's evil, man. She gets off on it. She likes her own family don't like her, and she always resented how close my family was.
right.
And she's very insecure. She was insecure of my mother. She couldn't get to my mother, so she took it out on my mother's kids.
Yeah.
But my pops never corrected her, so I believed it. And my brother, whenever he was 11, I was 13. He was spitting blood. He had two bleeding ulcers because of all the stress in that house.
Uh-huh.
And I was the main punching bag, not my brother Kenny. But whenever my mom took us to the doctor, my dad had no parental rights, so he couldn't even take us to the doctor. And my
Right.
mom took us, and I was there for that. The doctor's like, "What kind of environment are these kids living in?" And she said, "Well, they live with their dad." And he said, "This boy has two bleeding ulcers. Do you know what kind of stress it takes to, cause two bleeding ulcers?" So my mom yanked us out of there. But in my
Hold on,
head,
you got two bleeding ulcers. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you out.
yeah,
You got
11
two
years
bleeding
old.
ulcers with no alcohol involved.
No, he's 11 years old.
Wow.
My
Wow.
younger brother Kenny, he still has nervous ticks and shit from all that shit. It was the mental abuse was extreme. I mean, extreme. The physical, I'm the one that would get drug out of bed and beat all over the house. Not my brother
Was
so much; it was me. Uh, but
was
the
this
mental
like
abuse is
drug?
worse.
Was it alcohol induced?
No, my dad didn't drink. He's just a mean motherfucker. I mean, uh,
Yeah, he a bad. Yeah. You gotta be a hateful motherfucker to be sober just to be beating
well,
your ass for no reason.
he knocked me around. He knocked my mother around. He knocked my stepmom around. So I had to teach myself how to be a man. That's why whenever I finally cut him out of my life, he said something about, "Oh, I'm gonna go over and straighten his ass out." I said, "Motherfucker, I straighten my own ass out. You come over here,
No
what comes out the
bullshit.
front door ain't gonna be your son. Uh, I'll give you what you gave me, my brother, and my mother in one lump sum, motherfucker. I love him. He's my father, but I ain't gonna take no more shit. I've been the whipping boy long enough.
And
Every
that's what I
family
be
got that.
telling people, man. When you grown, you grown. Look here, motherfucker. I'm a
Yep.
child and I know what you're doing wrong. I know you my father. I love you by the Bible. By the Bible or whatever, however this shit
Exactly.
go. You see what I'm saying? Because you gave me
Yep.
birth. But motherfucker, I kill you. You think you're gonna kid come over here? Hey man, it's gonna be a sad day in the paper. But and that's crazy. But I don't know if your father's still alive. You know what I'm saying? But was it mental or I mean, cause
To
or
me,
did
the
y'all never
mental
find out?
abuse,
Did you? Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
used to the physical. The physical abuse, the bruises heal. The
yeah,
mental, man, I'm 56 years old and I still
and still fucked up.
got scars and shit. And I always took it. I was the whipping boy, but then when they started throwing little comments at my wife and shit outside her mouth, that's when I come to where I said, I'm done with this shit. You can do it to me, and I put up with it because I love you. You're my pops. But you ain't gonna disrespect my wife.
Right,
And I
right.
wish there could be a reconciliation, man. I really do. But every time I forgive, he can't keep that bitch on a leash, man, and keep her under control. My uncle told me when she first came into the picture that everybody noticed real quick that she's throwing hateful shit out the side of her mouth and just a spiteful bitch. And my grandmother was like, my family was a matriarch. My grandpa, what's up, Nate Dolph? All right, I'm doing an interview right now. I eat after. You made taco salad, bro?
Man, let me meet Nate Dogg if you can. I mean,
Hey,
if he
Nate,
say was doing this
come
bitch,
out real quick.
that
Monkey
nigga,
Man
I done
wants to
heard
meet you
about
real
that
quick.
nigga so much, man. I know him and I ain't never seen him.
Yeah, there's no man in this world I trust more than Nate, man. He's
Yeah.
he's my we've been through a lot. We was on a 6 to 30 together. And when you're looking at 6 to 30 years and motherfuckers ain't saying nothing, you know they're real.
Oh boy, everybody say 6 to 30.
Well, at first they were talking attempted murder, and then what happened was this dude fucking. We went in and talked to this guy in a club, and he let us know flat out if something happens in such a place, I'm gonna kill every one of you motherfuckers. And this is a serious dude. I said, ain't nothing
Right.
gonna happen. And he said, I know you're a man of your word. That's all I need to hear. And this dude that was with us started bumping his gums. So him and my buddy got into it. Long story short, he ended up on top of my buddy, and my buddy's wife went to grab him, try to get him off, and he punched her. And me and Nate took
Ooh.
the boots to him.
Yeah.
His eyeballs hanging out of his head. So they didn't go with attempted murder. They were going to go, here's Nate right here. This Monkey Man. I can't even see you, Monkey Man.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, Nate? I
I'm
knew Nate was black. I thought he was a white boy, but I knew he was black.
You're
I
black?
keep telling you what.
I got a
Say,
black guy
man.
living in my house.
Say,
I didn't
man.
know you was
Hey,
black.
man. Yeah. I knew it, but I didn't really know it because, man,
Well, you
but
know,
it's the
Jesus is
whole shit.
black too. Me and
Yeah.
Nate laugh about that. I'm always like, what do you think these Ku Klux Klan dudes are going to do? They die and they get to heaven and they see Jesus is black. They're going to shit all over themselves.
Hang on.
There
Shit.
ain't no way though that
Man.
man lived over there in the Middle East where that he was at least brown. No, man, I'm gonna do the interview. Oh, and they said you want a taco?
Hell yeah. Email that motherfucker. Hell yeah, I eat that bitch.
My wife for my Valentine's Day, she gave me a card. She makes me a card
Mm-hmm.
every year. Last
Uh-huh.
year, well, it said if life was a garden, I'd be your only hoe. And then this year, she put a taco on it. She said, "You're the only meat for my taco."
Huh. No
I,
bullshit, huh?
I got
And
lucky with her.
so so facing a 6 to 30 year sentence, bro. Like
Well, they
how you
reduced it down. They got the guy's eyeball back in his head, but that's originally what we were looking at is a heinous
mm-hmm.
battery, which is a class X in Illinois, 6 to 30. They
Yeah.
reduced that down to
With no
ag
weapon
battery.
involved,
Huh?
y'all just beat them up. No weapon, with no
I
weapon
had steel
involved,
toe
y'all just
boots
beat
on.
them up.
When the cops got there, I was on
Oh
top
well,
of them,
yeah,
hitting them,
yeah. Okay,
trying to pop his
okay,
eyeball.
yeah,
Every time I go to hit
yeah.
his
You got
eye,
on steel toe.
it bounced left and right on me. I couldn't get it to pop. But they were hitting me in the head with nightsticks and shit. Got me cuffed and they reduced it to ag battery. So we stayed on the same case though, because if we wouldn't have stayed on the same case, they'd have hung Nate for sure. But you got two white
Right.
boys on the case with them. That's going to help him out. It shouldn't be that way, but it is in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then they put us all on felony probation, and I violated that by robbing Lloyd's Texaco gas station. Uh,
Oh, you a bad actor.
well, she kept my ex-wife. I'm working as a roofer, barely keeping diapers on kids' asses, and all I hear is, "I
Yeah.
want glamour shots. I want glamour shot." And I just snapped, man. I went up and robbed the gas station. She got glamour shots. I got a mug shot. And
Damn.
sitting in St. Clair County Jail getting an envelope letter,
Yeah.
picture of her with her damn glamour shot, man.
You talking about some pictures?
Yeah,
You talking
back in the
about
day,
glamour
they
shots of
dress them up
pictures?
and do their hair,
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah,
That
that's
was for
all I
your
heard.
daughter or your girl at the time.
Oh God, she was 21, 22. I was real young too. I got out in 94. I got out. I
Uh-huh.
ain't been back since. And some of that's luck. I've done a couple things that I probably could have went back on, but my heart got softened up in there. I used
Yeah,
to
we
think
all got a few things we could be in that motherfucker for, but God gave us grace.
that's what did it right there. I used to think I was a real tough guy until I went to prison, and I found out there's the things I did in a rage because I was angry. There's people in there that they do it because that's what they enjoy doing. Uh, and I found out I wasn't as bad as I thought I was. Um, but it was God. God saw. I
Oh,
always say God softened my heart, and then He sent my wife
so
for cleanup.
so in St. Louis Penitentiary, do y'all have to choose
Oh no, I was at
sides?
Menard Correctional Center over in Illinois.
Uh,
Missouri, St. Louis is on the Illinois and the Missouri side of the Mississippi, like Kansas City. And
mm-hmm.
after my mom pulled us out of my dad's, we moved over to the Illinois side, to the east side. Is where I kind of right in that whole St. Clair County right there, that whole area. Uh, Out in Arizona, there was a guy, Tanel, and they were from St. Louis. This is a funny story, actually. His mom had this badass karaoke machine, and she
Uh-huh.
invited me and my wife over for a barbecue. And we got there, and she said, Tanel said you're from St. Louis. And I said, yeah. And she goes, she was trying to get me to do that karaoke, sing all night. And I said, I
Mm-hmm.
can't sing. I can't sing. I can't.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got enough beer in me. I finally sung. I can't sung my heart out. And I got done. I walked up to her and she said, darling, you have got a voice that will make a young lady wet. She goes, but don't ever sing it just noise to everybody. And I said, I told you I can't sing. And she goes, I know, darling, and now I believe you.
Right.
But when I told her I was from the east side, I said, I grew up over on the east side. She goes, honey, I'm black and I don't even go to the east side. It's usually the murder capital of the country for the amount of people that live there.
Right.
But I
Well, I
didn't.
didn't heard about East St. Louis.
I lived there in and out of East St. Louis, but up around 80th Street where the Wind Tramps Clubhouse used to be, down in that area. A lot of my best friends grew up there most of their lives, or Washington Park. Uh, but yeah, it's 70% of the murders that happen in East St. Louis go unsolved. And the problem is there's
And that's why it look like it's a lot because it's a small population.
well, they go by how many murders per 100,000 is how they do it. And if
Right.
you know Chicago, there's more murders, but there's more people. Uh,
But it's
but
more people,
for the amount
right.
of people, it's usually the murder capital every year. We weren't this year, thank God. And we had 3 years ago 140 something kids shot in the crossfire, man. 140 something. And
Wow.
see, that's what bothers me. And I know some people in some organizations, and I said, man, people need to put word out. You do that, there's going to be a consequence when you get to the joint. But it ain't like when I was a kid, is what I've been told. You got people on the same set, they're backdooring each other and shit.
Oh yeah. It's all them change.
It's
It's all them
anarchy
change.
now. It's not. Things aren't as organized as they used to be. Uh,
Mm. It was a time penitentiary even had structure. Like
yeah.
it was rules. You can't just do what the fuck you want to do up
Well,
there
I
now.
got my flag while I was in, but even with my flag, before, if somebody's in another organization, I had to get permission before I could move on that person. I couldn't just do what I wanted to do. There were consequences for that because when you're in a maximum security penitentiary, no, you kick
See
off a
the
war and
cigarettes,
people
you
die,
can't
man.
go over and beat up that.
Uh, People die.
Would you say to something?
Yeah,
Right. That's what I'm saying. We could be getting change of cigarettes or something, and you got a problem with somebody, man. You're not gonna fuck up the traffic over just a little bullshit beef. You know what I'm saying?
have you noticed on YouTube? Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of things that don't seem like a big deal get you green lighted. Uh, the organization I was in, if you went to
Man,
protective custody, that's automatic green light right there. Uh, and there was one
man,
joint in the
the
state of
second.
Illinois we were under orders. that if we went there, go straight PC because
Mm-hmm.
they was killing motherfuckers right off the bus, and that was up in Pontiac. Pontiac was a brutal camp, but I was at Menard. That's see back in the day, if you caught a case and you were from Southern Illinois, you would go through Menard. It didn't matter what your crime was, you went to a max, and then they process you out for the
Right.
max. Depending on what your charges were. Mine, I had violent crimes, so I did most of my time in the max. But uh, up north, you would go through Joliet. But
See, and that's
I
crazy,
put
man, because okay, so how close is Michigan and Illinois? Like, how, I mean, St. Louis,
Michigan.
like, is that kind of
Michigan's way up north. That's Chicago's like a 5 hour drive from St. Louis. But Michigan, that's way up north. You're up on the Great Lakes up there. So you're looking at probably 1,200, 1,400 miles or so. That's just guesstimating. St. Louis, we're almost dead center in the middle of the country, uh, right on the Mississippi River. And the east side used to be all the factories, and it's where all the rich white people live.
uh-huh.
Well, I'm getting an echo.
Hold
Is
on.
my
Is that me?
YouTube still open? Let me check real quick. Sounds like we're getting a reverberation on it or something.
It might be on your end. Yeah, he come back
Yeah,
too.
it shouldn't be echoing. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, is it still echoing?
Yeah, it just might be something on my phone. I got a cheap little Android. As long as it ain't echoing for you and aggravating you and all your people, I'm good.
Nah, I don't hear it.
But yeah, St. Louis just sits right on the Mississippi River and Missouri Illinois border, and the east side was there's like 3 or 4 white guys own all that property down there, and what they do is they get motherfuckers in these loans, and they know they ain't gonna be able to pay this loan off, and then they pull the house from underneath them and resell it again, and just keep doing that. Screw 'em. Yeah, bro. Fuck you, Nate. You fucker. He's got that little fucking. He's got this little teddy bear from his daughter, and I was going out on the bike one day, and there was some construction guy out on the street, and he goes, "Hey, man," and I stopped. He goes, "You forgot your bear." I said, "Fuck you, motherfucker." He's always ribbing on me.
Yeah, but
But yeah, Nate's good people, man. Nate's like me. You were talking about always helping people. He's the same way, and we're the same in the sense somebody fucks me over, it don't bother me as much. But when they mess with my friends, that's when I get angry, and that's how I knew you had a good heart. You were there for Dolly, and she's got such a sweetheart that it's tempting for people to try to take advantage of that. And that one, I come on that one show you were doing, I was like, oh no, because you were playing, and then
yeah,
I was like, oh thank God.
cause I want to
But that's
see.
how I knew at the core you're good people,
Yeah, man, because see, at the end of the day, how
because
can you be mad at somebody
you've
that
been
supports you?
real
All she
good to
do
her.
is support. All she do is support
Oh
people. I
shit.
mean, how can you be mad at a person that support people? That's what I'm saying. Like that's
What's
how
that?
evil people is. I say all she do is support people. How can you be
Yeah,
able to, and I
that's
just
it.
wanted her to see how people really thought of her. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's like that. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't like putting people's name in my mouth. Like I see all these guys on YouTube, they'll argue back and forth like they're cell fighting. And I don't know, when I was locked up, shit wasn't done like that. Somebody
But
just gets
see,
stabbed up all of a sudden. It wasn't all that bip shit. And
I'm gonna
I
tell
just
you
think a man
something.
looks weak.
All them panels was. If them people was really in the same room, when a lot of that shit be going on either.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Exactly.
Everybody's in a safe place. Everybody's in their own safe space talking a bunch of shit for no reason.
Well, I kind of believe, do no harm, but take no shit. I'd rather have a friend than an enemy any day of the week. But even if I got a problem with somebody on YouTube, I'm not gonna run my mouth about them. I just don't watch their video. It's that simple. All that arguing, it just gives me a fucking headache. I guess I'm getting old. I don't know.
Hold on though. Hold on, Tashunka. And let's be real. You my homeboy. I
Yep.
don't give a fuck what a motherfucker say. What color are they though?
It don't matter to me what color anybody is. You're either
I
an
ain't seen
asshole
no
or you're
white
not.
men argue. I ain't seen no white men arguing. I'm gonna tell the truth. I ain't seen no white men on, but I've been seeing a bunch of brothers on
Oh,
here.
I know a bunch of white guys on YouTube arguing, and they're ironically in the prison genre. And it's like, what prison did you go to? Because we didn't argue like that.
And these are supposed to be penitentiary niggas too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I always, it's like I told Dolly, I said, any active gangbanger, actively gangbanging, they ain't going to be on YouTube talking about it. Uh, the school I grew up in,
I'm trying to
you
get
got a short
somebody
life
out of gang
expectancy.
banging.
You just don't talk about shit like that. That's how I live to be this old. Is I don't talk about other organizations. I don't talk about the one I was in because when I signed up, that was the rules. You don't talk about that shit. And if you're active, I just can't see any organization tolerating somebody active talking about the organization. It's
That's what I'm saying.
I would think that would get you fucking 6 feet under with the quickness.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I don't
That's
know.
why I
Things
feel
have
like
changed, since I got lucky. The organization I was in, it only exists in the Illinois Department of Corrections, and it only on the streets when we go home. I got to be a father, a grandfather, a husband. I don't have to bang out here. It makes the organization weaker because you got no juice on the streets, but I don't got to bang unless I go back. I signed up for that. I got to honor what I signed up for. So I try to do what I got to do to stay out of the joint.
hold on, let me
There ain't
go
no
out and
future
come
in that
back in. I
whole
think I do kind of hear
lifestyle.
that echo. I think I do kind of hear that echo. Let me go in and come right back.
Yeah, I'm hearing it big time, an echo. And I checked, and I don't. I just clicked the link, and so I don't have nothing going. Hey, Barry Wood, what you doing up in here, bro? Good to see you, man. Barry Wood in the house. I got that pressure relief valve in. That means I can ride, and that makes me happy.
Is that better now?
Yeah, it's in there. I haven't fired this bike up in a couple months, and it's been cold, but it's got so much compression in this engine. It's the biggest Evo engine that Harley makes, and
Uh
then
huh.
it's bored out. The guy that made it bored it out, so the cylinder, everything. He's got a racing carb on it. The first time I rode it, I shifted in second gear and almost the handlebars. I almost lost the handlebars. Uh, she's a thirsty bitch with that.
So
You
let
can't
me
be
ask you
gentle with
this.
her. She wants to go.
Let me ask you this, Tashanka. So I'm just asking, when we ain't got to say organization's name, but what's how I'm saying predominantly, what color is your organization?
Oh, it's prison. It was all white. Back in the day,
Okay,
it
so
was
let me
just
ask you
like
this.
Cali. Everything was geared by race in Illinois prison back then.
So
Now though,
on the white side,
if
it's
yeah, if
watered
me and
down.
Nate if me and Nate wanted to be cellmates, they wouldn't put a white and black man in the same cell. Uh, and the organization I was in, it's all white, like BGD. You got all black guys. Now I've met some
Right.
gangster disciples that are white that are down for their business, but BGDs, all the
Yeah.
BGDs I've met have been black.
And
Uh,
that's what people fail to realize. It's all color disciples. It's all color,
well,
all
you got
races. They got
I've met Mad
all
Insane gangster
Italian
disciples.
disciples,
I've met
everything.
BGDs gangster disciples. In Illinois, it's more you ride under Finball. or 6-point. You know, it's more like Vice Lords. They rode Finball. They
Yeah.
didn't go so much the red and the blue. And what tripped me out, I know a guy, actually, he's the one that gave me the do's and don'ts before I went to the joint. He used to call me Junebug. And I said, man, why you call me Junebug all the time? And he said, calm down, Junebug, I like you. And I'm glad because he'd have whooped my ass. I seen him knock dudes out reaching over his tray and shit. His name was John
Yeah.
Hawkins. But for some reason, the blacks in Chicago would try to prey on the blacks from down in St. Louis. And I don't understand why that was, but they started an organization called the Metros. And John Hawkins was one of the founding members of the Metros. But he's the one that gave me the do's and the don'ts. You know, after I got sentenced, you know, he's like, let me talk to you, Junebug. And first thing he said to me is, when you get there, don't be Junebug. Uh, don't be bouncing off of everything and just sit there, be quiet, pay attention, man. And then the second thing he said was, don't walk through a line. I said, what? I can't cut through a fucking line? He goes, you can if you want to get stabbed to death. That's probably a security line. Whenever the bars would roll, step out, everybody group up, and anybody gets near that line, there's a couple people on that line going to stab you to death. Uh, so, I mean, but it was geared that way. Now, if you're white, they're going to put you in cell with a black guy. They insist on it. So
Right.
they're getting away from that racially geared shit. Because me and Nate, you know, whenever he go to the joint,
Oh, y'all got neutrons up there. He ain't with nobody. See, a neutron is with nobody.
he tried riding north side with us, but fucking they don't take black guys, you know. And there's like
He-
there's 5 flag holders out here on the streets that vouch for him. As a matter of fact, there's 6 of us alive still, and we get together once a month for poker. If you
Yeah.
walked in there, you got all these white gang members from prison. If you ask any one of them who's the best man in the room, they will all point at Nate. Every
You
single one of them.
goddamn right.
But when you're kids, you don't see in color. You grow up with
Nah,
people in your neighborhood, and that's your people, man.
nah. Well, see, that's what they getting it misconstrued because a lot of the gang when it's in jail, that's politics and business, and this just how we got to roll. But in the free
Yep.
world is different, but we still
Well, that's
affiliated
it.
gang members from the jail.
Everybody I know, when they hit the bricks, they leave that shit in the joint. Uh, you know, you got to do what you got to do to make your update.
So
And you know, but
I'm
if
trying to see your
say
organization more like the Wood Pile in Texas. See, the Wood Pile was
my organization started out as a good thing.
uh
From what I hear, it's morphed since the early '90s.
huh.
Uh, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't like
Nah, yeah, you can leave
a
it
lot of
alone. You
the
can leave it alone now.
changes. I don't
Now,
like a lot of
your
changes,
gang see
though.
more
I'll
of a
say that.
protector gang. Y'all see more of a protector than racial gang. You know
Well,
what I'm
it
saying?
used to be where white boys were getting vicked out by blacks and Latinos.
Uh
And
huh.
there's a dude, man, and I don't care what organization you're in Chicago, whether you were rivals or whatever, they all respected Big Joe Gansey. And he started that organization. And really, any white boy that's come through after him, they owe him something because they made your survivability a lot better. Uh, but he was a good guy, and he didn't start it for no racial shit. It was straight up
Right.
because he got tired of seeing people getting vicked and shit.
I told you it was a protection gang. So down here in Texas, they got the Wood Pile, the Peckerwoods. They was protecting from the racist organizations and the
Well,
people picking on each other. They wasn't a
every
gang. They was just
organization,
some brothers.
look at Hoover, man. That all started out, you know, black pride, blacks looking out for each other. Same with Latin
Right.
Kings. They all start out good, but it takes one
Yeah.
bad leader to fuck shit up. I heard
It
Hoover just
always
got
takes
out.
one bad leader.
yeah, you get a bad leader in there. That I had the whole camp when I finally got transferred out. I had Shawnee Correctional Center calling the shots down there.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could do something myself, I didn't send brothers on a mission. I was trying to get brothers home. And there's some people, though, they want to go on that power trip. And I'm not
Right.
going
See that should I be tripping now?
I just don't believe you should be, if you're not willing to do something yourself, you shouldn't be sending people on missions left and right, you know? Or
That's
you
what
see
I'm
a lot of
saying.
guys come through and they'll be used as pawns. Oh, you want to earn your flag? And motherfuckers won't even teach them how to try to get away with it, you know? Just send them
Right.
on a Jap mission so that they can kamikaze and jack their whole fucking life off. And okay, you're a flag holder, enjoy another 30 years in prison. The least you can do is try to help them get away with it. If something like that's got to be done.
That they even try to help them get away with it. They just send them on the crash. But that's in any gang though. Crash
Yeah,
mission
you
because it
got.
ain't always.
You know who you ought to interview sometime?
Oh.
He's actually the guy that helped me forgive myself for a lot of shit. His name's Demel Hanna. He was a gangster disciple out of Chicago, and the dude is smart as fuck. He did 17 years in Illinois, and Innocence Project got him out. He black dude,
Mm-hmm.
wrong place, wrong time, man. And
Right.
he told me, he said, Mark, I wasn't innocent. I was a gangster disciple, but I didn't do that murder. And 17 years, and he educated himself in there. He's smart as fuck. Got all kinds of degrees. But me and him got to talking. He was on that 23-1, and I never
Okay.
used
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
the prison shit. I was like, I don't even want to think about prison. Man, I
Right.
seen it said surviving Illinois prison, and I thought, well, I'll see if this motherfucker is real. And he said there, out of all the prisons where I was, he was the worst. He said there was 3 white organizations there, and there's reasons for it, but it's the only time in Illinois that whites control the max. And there's
Oh
reasons for
yeah.
that I can't talk about, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he we got to talking. I said, yeah, it was Almighty Gaylords, Northsiders, and Menard Chain Brotherhood. And he goes, how you know that? And I said, well, I did my time back in the 90s. He goes, dude, you need to come on my show. He said, it's bloody when you was there. I said, I know. And I said, you know, I said, I can't go on there talking about that or my organization. I can't. I mean, when I signed up for it, I can't give out that shit. And he
And
said,
that's the
well,
thing I'm talking about. Nobody supposed to know who a blood or none of that. Nobody supposed to
that's
know. You
right.
only supposed to
That's
know
right.
by
That's
your
right.
signals or whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or however you
Yeah.
do. That's what I be
Well,
saying, bro.
if you sign up for something, once you sign up, it's too late to. You got to go by the rules, man. That's the healthy thing to do. But
right.
he was telling me all the time because I tell him, man, there's shit I forgive myself for. And I sent him my paperwork one time, and he said, "Why you send me this, man?" And I said, "Well, you're a convict too. You know, most of us, when we talk to somebody, you're always looking for the play, the angle. You just don't you just trust motherfuckers, you know." And he goes, "Bro,
Right.
I did 17 years there. I already checked up on you. You're certified." He goes, "And speaking of which, you're always talking about can't forgive yourself." He said, "You was in the jungle, right? You was trying to make your out date. You did what you fucking had to do to survive." And he's the one that helped me through that. Whatever you did in the past, it might be something terrible, but it don't do no good to beat yourself up constantly uh,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't. They don't change a damn thing. All you can do is try to learn from it and move on. Uh,
Right. Right.
do I feel bad about it? Yeah, but I don't beat myself up every day about it no more. I've come to some point where I've forgiven myself, and You
Yeah,
know,
because I mean, it's not your fault. Some things in life, you know what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. It goes back to what you were saying earlier as a child, the childhood shit. So a lot
yeah.
of shit and that you go through in life, if you ain't healed from it, it's gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
there's a saying. I don't know where it's from. I think it might be from Africa. Uh, the saying is, "The child the village does not feed is the child that will grow up and burn the village to the fucking ground." Uh,
right,
People got this image in America. I've seen both sides. I could have had the silver spoon, college paid for whenever I graduated. Uh, but you know, wherever my mom made us move, I was lied to. I thought she didn't want us. I knew shit was
right.
bad at my pops, but you know, I was thinking, bitch, you didn't want us, and now you're going to yank us out. It's bad at dad's, but at least he wants us. And I started acting out to maybe get sent back over to my dad's, and it just snowballed out of control, you know, real quick. Uh,
Mhm.
and then it's just heroin and alcohol. Well, it started out alcohol, and then finally it was pills, and then after a while on pills, you can't keep feeding the animals, so you figure out those buttons are a lot cheaper. And 20 years of them pills and heroin, just trying to stay numb, so I didn't have to think about all that shit.
What is
Uh,
button?
what's a heroin button?
Oh,
So
okay.
it used to come with capsules, and I was a snorter, so
Oh, okay.
I would get the capsules. Now I would have tried. I don't think I'm better than somebody at mainline because I don't like hypodermic needles. I got tattoos all over me, but I got this fear with the hypodermics.
Hey man.
Uh,
Anybody
Otherwise,
that
I'd have tried it.
mainline anything, they a bad motherfucker. Cause that's straight to the boy. There you go. You gonna get right to it.
Me and Nate tried to figure out all the people from high school we knew that overdosed. Every time we think we got a list, we think of somebody else. Uh, there's this one girl, Lisa, and she was. They found her and her old man, and you know how the game goes. After a while, your family ain't talking to you. You burn a bunch of bridges, and she was dead. They found her and her old man sitting side by side with needles in their arms, and they were dead so long nobody noticed that the dog and the cats ate part of her face off. Her mother had to have
Yeah.
a close casket
Hey.
funeral. Yeah, man. Uh, she was a beautiful girl, beautiful. But mom and dad had to have a close bury their little girl because nobody had been by so long.
Oh,
Uh,
so the daddy didn't die though.
her boyfriend died right next to her.
Oh, her
Both of them
boyfriend. I
had
thought you
needles.
said her and her father. Oh, her and her boyfriend. Okay, my bad.
No, well, her mom and dad didn't have nothing to do with her because she'd rip them off, and you know, after a while, people get tired of that, and
Right, right.
they, you know, and I always figured when I was active in my habit, there's a lot of people in the world to fuck over. I didn't shit in my own backyard, but I don't judge people that did because
Yeah.
when you're going through withdrawals, man, and you're needing that fix, uh, they're the easiest ones to get that money.
Yeah, cause man,
Uh,
I know what it is. I done fucked over in my house, out my house. It don't matter. Shit. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. But it ain't like I say,
Well,
when you get to Jones and you know some addiction is bigger than for other people. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna panhandle, but I'll go steal some shit. That was my thing.
well, I'm manic depressive bipolar, so most of the time I'm depressed. Sometimes I go manic, like I'm a little manic now. It's where like I'm on coke. It feels like, but most
Hmm.
time I'm real low. And when they first put me on them pain pills, I remember out in Arizona, I told my buddy Mickey, I said, "Man, Mick, they need to prescribe this shit for manic depressive bipolar people because I'm happy all the time." Well, until I went to the methadone clinic years later, I didn't understand what the fuck, why that was, but it, you know, it releases that dopamine, and that
Right.
dopamine makes you feel happy. So for me, it was easy to get addicted because I felt happy. And then after a while, it's just every day, man, you're waking up. I weigh 235 pounds right now, 6 foot. When I got off that shit, I was 6 foot, 149 pounds.
Right.
And I was in such a haze that I thought I looked fine. I look at
Right.
pictures of me back then, dude, and I got tombstones in my eyes, pencil neck, just all tore up. And I call it my numbness because it's like a hypnotic. You get in that haze, man, and you're just oblivious to everything. Uh, and I've lost a lot. I mean, a lot of friends to that needle. I've lost friends getting shot. I've had friends shot by the cops. Two of my buddies, they thought it'd be real slick to go down to East St. And back in the day, they motherfucker put that hand in the window with them big rocks, and they was going down there thinking they were being cute, slapping the hand, knocking the rock up in the car and punching it, thinking, "Oh, we're funny." They went down
Yeah.
there one time, and the dude recognized them, started shooting. Joey pulls the car over. Jay gets out, starts shooting with the fucking pistol, and motherfucker come out in between those two projects and fucking opened up with an automatic, man. Cut Jay down. Jay's
Ooh.
laying there dead. They found Joey 3 blocks away hitting a straight shooter, man. His biological brother just got gunned down. And I used to tell him all the time, do you think the boys are going to play with you? They're not selling that. Come down and fucking rip them off. And I knew it was a matter of time, but you know how it goes. You always think you're slick. Ain't going to happen
Right.
to you. You're going
Right.
down in their neighborhood and their house. They know when your car's rolling in. Everybody, back then it wasn't so much, but now everybody talking on the fucking phones and radios and everything else. But yeah, man, I mean,
So
that
and
thing too is you got a lot of guys grow up in the hood, and society as a whole looks at them like they're trash. But what they don't understand is a lot of those people, it isn't that they're bad people. When you grow up and your only meal might be lunch at school, uh, and you're hungry and you're desperate, desperate people will do desperate fucking things.
right.
They see that guy with the nice clothes and the women and the nice car. They want that. And
Right.
that's why they need to start creating more opportunities in our inner cities for these young men where they can do something else. And it's a generational thing too. Grandpa, dad, son, all in the same organization. Uh, and then the school systems, you don't get the good teachers. They don't want to go down in the hood to work, and these kids ain't getting a good education. And then what else are they supposed to do? Just
Right.
go
Right.
hungry?
Right.
Uh,
And then the parents is allowing it because shit, some of them don't
yeah.
give a damn in the hood, man.
There's a
And
guy
that's
I still dream about sometimes. He got caught selling some rock. Come back from court, man, and I mean they hammered him. It was like right around 20 years. I said, man, they gave you that much time for that little bit of rock you had on you? And he said, yeah, man. He goes, you know what's really fucked up, Mark? I said, what? He goes, I don't know who my dad is. My mom's is strung out on heroin, and I sell the shit to feed my little brother and sister. And then he said, who the fuck's going to feed them now? And I'll never
yeah,
forget the look in his eyes, man. When a man's
right.
saying something like that to you,
Mm.
I like to look at people in the eyes because you could tell a lot looking in the eyes. He was being for real. And here he is getting all this fucking time just because he's trying to brother and sister. Because
See,
mom and
that's
dad ain't
why I'm
doing their
glad you
job,
came on here, Tashunka. That's why I'm glad you come on here. Cause that's what they not talking about. That's the stories they need to
No,
talk about. Those stories of the penitentiary. When them boys get that time, man.
yeah. Well, and
And
see,
they got really a whole lot of shit on their back.
I don't know about other states. I do know Illinois. I've seen it. My best friend's he's black, and I've seen it too many times to just be a coincidence. In the state of
Right.
Illinois, if you're a black man, say a white man gets 10 years. you're going to get 15 to 20. And some of that, I think, is money, because there's a lot of corrupt prosecutors. And if they got political ambitions and they need to stop judging prosecutors by how many wins they got, how many convictions.
Yeah,
What you should be judged on is how many righteous convictions. Illinois, where I did my time, when me and Amy moved out to Arizona, I remember it come up on the news. Governor Ryan at the time, you can look this up. He commuted all death row inmates to life without the possibility. There were 11 men that were released. 11 men at the same time sitting on death row, waiting to be put down like dogs, who were innocent.
What?
Because, yeah, look it up. Governor Ryan commutes death row inmates, all of them. He said, I have to commute all their sentences. DNA proved that 11 men that were sitting on death row were innocent. It happens all the time. There's a guy, Gary Wayne, down in, it reminds me of a song, Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Poor white guy, and he got framed with this murder. I used to, a shotgun, I know a lot about shotguns. They took pictures of the body, the police did. There's no shell casings. A couple days later, they take another picture, and there's 12 gauge shotgun shells, but they are in a perfectly straight line with a perfectly same gap in between them. When you're pumping a 12 gauge, they don't fly out the gun and land perfectly lined up like that.
Hell nah.
Anybody ever shot a shotgun knows that. They just go flying chaotic wherever, especially if you're shooting and moving, trying to shoot somebody.
Right.
But they're all perfectly in a straight line. The judge was having dinner with the defense prosecutor, and there was jury tampering, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, that's
And
it,
that's
bro.
what
That's all
happens in
across
this
America.
country.
It's all
What's
across
that?
America. Yeah, that's all across America.
Well, they stopped there's the wife right there. That's Monkey Man.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, God sent her in for cleanup. He said, clean up on aisle 9. I'm anti-authoritarian. I don't like being told. I don't think anybody should tell a grown man what he's got to do, you know? And
Right.
A lot of women, and I ain't being disrespectful to women. I respect my wife. I love her very much. But a lot of women will try to dominate you and tell you, you're going to do this, you ain't going to do that. Not one time did she ever say, I have to or I can't. And at some point, even my dumb ass noticed that. And then I found myself looking for the next good thing I could do for her. And it just kept going back and forth like that, you know?
Right.
Uh,
Because
growing
you
up like I
said
did,
something.
seeing women beating shit, I never thought in a million years be the way I am with a woman, you know. But that's why my dad made me so mad with that. I'll straighten his ass. Motherfucker, I straighten my own ass out.
Right.
He didn't teach me how to be a man, because a man don't go around knocking women around. You just don't do
Right.
that. There's no honor in it. If a woman's, the Bible and Proverbs, it says it's better for a man to sleep on the corner of his roof than share a house with a quarrelsome woman.
Oh boy, man.
If it's that bad, walk out. Go get something else. But you know, once you hit them, they could be a bitch. But as soon as you put your hands on them, you're the asshole.
Man, my girl, that I told her that could. She was talking. I say, man, this ain't in the Bible, man. If a woman get the nagging, man, I want to pack my shit and go sleep on top of the roof. That's what the Bible says. I told her that,
That's
man.
it
And
does
you the
say
only
that.
other person. She said she ain't never heard it. I think I did show it to her, pull it up. But at the end of the day, you the only other person that I heard say that, because I heard a Hebrew Israel. I don't know. I think I'm reading Proverbs and seeing this shit. I don't
There's
know.
only two things that
Because Proverbs a
most things
bad motherfucker.
I don't retain information real good. There's two things that stick in my head: scripture I read it,
Mm-hmm.
I remember it, and
Me
music
too.
for some reason. If I hear a
Me
song,
too.
I pretty much got it. Uh,
Me too.
but yeah, I read the Bible all the time, and the shit sticks in my head. Not like a savant photographic, but I
Nah, but the
retain it a
things
lot
that you
better.
need, the things that you need.
Yeah, that's the roadmap to life right there. And
Right.
you know, everybody says that Christianity was a white European religion. No, it wasn't. Way before that, it was a Middle Eastern and even an Africa religion. And then what happened is Constantine, whenever he became emperor, he went to Christianity. That's when they started making Jesus white in all the pictures, and Jesus was not white. He was brown to black, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But he Constantine is the one that brought Christianity to Europe when he converted to Christianity. But before that, it was Africa, the Middle East was where the Christians were. Uh, and you know the Jewish people, they weren't white neither, but they got scattered, all over the world, and they married different people after the Holocaust and shit. They got
But let me
scattered
ask you
everywhere.
this, and I'm gonna ask you this: do you know the? I mean, it's heard. I don't know if it's the truth. It's because we've been told different. But do you know the real truth
Yeah, well,
behind Hitler, though? Do you know the real truth behind Hitler?
I know a little bit. I know that his real name was not Hitler.
No,
Uh,
no,
his
I'm talking
his
about the
stepfather was
reason. No,
Jewish.
no, no, no. The part of the Holocaust part. I mean the when he was killing the Jews? Did you understand really why he was doing it and not
No,
in the hateful way?
I never did understand that. I know his stepdad was
Okay.
Jewish. Uh, so maybe
But
his
that's something
stepdad.
I'm gonna send to you to show you yourself because a lot of people get it misconstrued because of the Bible. See, some of this stuff they'll tell us, and it's not really all the way true because they got to depict this
Well,
because
the
we got to
Catholic
play it
Church
out.
has twisted a lot of the scripture around.
Right,
Uh,
right,
and, and
right,
scripture's something you could have a bad preacher that can twist those words to make them what he wants them to be. Uh,
right.
you know, but I never understood why people hated the Jews so much because I think what happened is in Europe that I know the King of France owed them a lot of money at one time, and I think a lot of them were persecuted because people didn't want to pay back some debts. But you know, my I had a friend one time said, "Well, they killed Christ," and I said, "If you're a Christian, we all killed Christ. If
No
Christ
bullshit.
died for our sins, we all sinned.
Yeah, if he died for your
So
sin, nigga, you killed
we
him.
all kill
'Cause I
Christ,
know you a
right?
sinner.
I mean, so oh hell yeah, I've done some terrible things, and that's why
Nah.
I'm always running around trying to do what's right because I got a lot to pay back, man.
So
Uh,
let me go down there with you right quick. I didn't want to go do that, but I'm glad you got on this subject. So this is the whole thing. Supposedly, I don't know, but I'm just saying that's what it sounds like because the Bible even say the same thing. So the people that was in the land that's claiming to be the Jews, the reason why he was killing them because he knew they wasn't the real Jews. See, that's when you get to the Hebrew Israelite and all that other. And I don't want to get too technical with it because a lot of people will disagree. But
well,
see, that's the argument right now
there
of
was
who are the
eugenics going on too under Hitler. They had breeding programs. He was looking for a pure, blonde haired, blue eyed race. Uh, and that's what people don't understand. All those scientists that were working for Hitler, guess where they
Mhm.
went after World War II? They all
Well,
come here because they were ahead of us with jet technology, all kinds of shit. And a lot of those Nazi scientists come to America and work for us after World War II. I know
yeah,
history very good, but you're right. The thing about history is, like, here's a good example: Pancho Villa. Okay, if
right.
you read a white journalist in America, he's going to say Pancho Villa was a bandit, he was a murderer, he was a thug. If you read a Mexican journalist, Pancho Villa was a man that seen that his people, the Mexican people, The migrant workers were getting treated like shit. They weren't getting paid right, and he fought to get equal rights for his people.
Right.
I think Pancho Villa was somewhere in between. He didn't have the power to go against the United States military, so he fought the only way he could. And sometimes, for his cause, he had to use violence to get his point across,
Right.
to achieve his goals. It's like the IEDs over in Iraq. I don't like that our people were getting blown up like that, but the British hiding behind trees and we quit walking across the open field at each other. They said that was dishonorable. No, it's smart, you know.
Right.
And if me
Right.
and you's fighting, we're gonna fight with whatever we got. And they
Right,
didn't
man.
have
Look at it, man.
technology. They
What was
fought with
that
what they
movie
had.
with Mel Gibson? What was that movie with Mel Gibson? Patriot? Man, I'm not finna
Oh
sit
yeah,
here, stuff this
yeah,
gun while you shoot at me. I shoot first, then you shoot second.
yeah, yeah. Well, even the Civil War, they would walk straight across the field at each other for the most part. You had snipers, but all through history, snipers. That's that to me. That's if you had a professional like Navy SEAL, special ops sniper hunting you, you won't even know he's there. He's going to hit you so far away. You're not even. By the time you hear the sound of the bullet, you're going to be dead.
No
Uh,
bullshit.
and you get caught though as a sniper, they're going to torture the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
It wasn't our first sniper in America was really, and he's the one that wore that feather in Vietnam. He's the guy
Uh-huh.
that made that shot, went through the guy's scope into his eyeball. Uh, and the snipers were considered dishonorable because they weren't. I consider it smart. You fight and try to live to fight another day. You know, you don't. But that walking across the field when we first more guerrilla tactics, the British said we were dishonorable. We had no honor. No,
Right.
we're not damn fools, you know. Uh,
Right.
and the Civil War I have studied very deeply. I know a lot about the
Mhm.
Civil War.
Yeah, and that
Like Lincoln did not. Whenever he was a kid, they had a law back then. Like your father, your parents could send you to work for somebody, and all the money you made went to your parents. You got none of it. Now, I'm not even beginning to compare that to the atrocities of slavery because you can't compare those two things. But
right.
Lincoln did not like that at all. So he could relate kind of to the slaves in the sense of work your ass.
Right.
But the main reason Lincoln was a good man, but the main reason he brought slavery into the whole thing is America was starting to lose support from the British and the Spanish and the French. It was a states' rights thing, but he brought slavery into it because England had outlawed slavery. Before
Mhm.
England outlawed slavery, actually, most of the slaves in the world come from the Baltic states and they were white. Once England outlawed slavery, they started going to Africa to get slaves. Slave traders always go to the poorest countries with the least resistance to do the evil shit they do. But you got guys like what was his name? Nat Turner. I'm surprised
Right.
there weren't more Nat Turners. You're
Yeah,
sitting
and
there being
that's
abused like that, watching your wife and kids getting sold off. I, I, I mean, I'm surprised more
that's
men
why
didn't just.
that's
I'd
what
be
I'm
killing
saying,
people too.
Tashunka. That's what I'm talking about now. How can and even today, right now in today's time, and I don't care what color you is, us as Americans, sometimes you got to tell the government, man, hold the fuck up.
Well, I
We'll do
like
this
Morgan
shit
Freeman.
ourselves.
Morgan Freeman's view on it to me is beautiful. He said the way you do away with racism is you quit talking about it. It's the
Right.
politicians, and they're the ones that keep the pot stirred up. If you take red ants and black ants, and you put them in a big jar. They get along just fine. Not a problem.
Yeah, man.
You
Shit.
shake that jar up real hard, they will start killing each other. And instead of killing each other, they need to be going after Europe. But most people, they got people running so fast nowadays. Got mom and dad both working jobs.
Right.
You ain't got time to dig and see what's going on. You get
Right.
15 minutes of propaganda on TV that they're calling news. It ain't even news. It's depending on what channel you ride. It's my side's right, their side's wrong, and there's no compromise. Without
Right.
compromise, you can't move forward.
You can't.
Uh, and people are starting to wake up though.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I don't
but
got
it's slowly but surely. It's like morning time. It's morning time on the wake up. It's like morning time. It's people starting to see what's really going on. It's getting clearer.
I've
You
seen
feel what I'm saying?
I've seen the silver spoon and I've seen the hood. I've been
Right.
homeless. I've seen both sides. So most white people in this country haven't seen that poverty side. They don't know what that's like.
Right.
Uh, and so they judge and they say, "Oh, they're bad people." No, they're desperate people, and
Hell
desperate
yeah.
people do desperate shit. And that's
Right.
like you get out on parole and it's harder to get a job. Why are
No.
you going to make it more hard for somebody to survive in life when he's already proven to you that when he's desperate, he'll do desperate shit?
And
Why
then gonna
not?
tell you gotta come down here with some money to the parole office. How I can't
Yeah,
get a job.
that's it. Well, see, and the black community is starting to wake up to this politics shit too. And here's the other thing: me and Nate were talking about this the other night. With that COVID, they was going down there trying to get people to get that shot in the hood. And more than any place else in America, the hood was the one saying, no, I don't
Hell
want
yeah.
that shot. And the reason for that is because they're on D. They've been fucked over so many times. They're like, what's he trying to do? What's the angle? You know? And that's why that is. But these kids growing up in these neighborhoods, they're not necessarily bad kids. Uh, they, they're desperate kids and they're scarred up kids. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we do glamorize the wrong heroes in this country.
Man,
Um,
confirmation from the show earlier, man. It's too much bullshit getting idolized and not the real people, dog. The little people that's really out here busting their ass trying to do something to make it
that's
better,
the
dog.
badass. It takes more consistency to go into work every day and do your pinchy, shitty job and put food on the table and keep the lights on. That's a lot more consistency it takes to do that. And to me, that dude's more badass than the guy that can go out and pull a trigger on a gun. You could hand a 5-year-old kid a gun and he could shut me down. It don't take much effort to do that. If you got a
Mm-hmm.
heart though, and you're not rotten to the core, you might be able to pull that trigger. But I would argue, unless your heart's gotten so callous, like
Man,
mine
these
used to
the
be,
hearts
that you're
right
gonna
now
regret
are
those things. You're gonna regret them. You
say
know,
right
every
now how
human
it's
life is
going is
precious.
nobody's giving a damn right now. And I'm talking about in life on life period, whether you got a gun or not. Because right now it's so everybody desperate. You know what
We
I'm
had
saying?
we had a guy.
And everybody with the power is trying to make you do a P Diddy
Here's
parties.
here's two examples. This is just recently here. We had this guy locks up the brakes in front of the city bus, gets out, gets on the bus. The bus had to stop because he locked them up in front of it. Gets out on
Uh-huh.
the bus, shoots two dudes in the head. They get him down to the police station. They asked him why he did it. He said they was looking at him disrespectfully. So this motherfucker
Damn.
goes, yeah, yeah. When I was out in Arizona, you're in the store, you accidentally step on somebody's shoes. Hey, my bad, man. Oh man, don't worry about it. It's all good. Come back to St. Louis, man, and you might get shot over something like that.
Yeah,
And it's
because
because these kids got to grow apart. They're living under hard circumstances.
because I was locked up with a Mexican. And see, that's what I'm saying. And I knew this Mexican, and he stabbed his roommate 32 times because his feet stank.
Yeah, them Mexicans. There weren't a lot of Latin kings in Illinois prison, but they were probably one of the most feared because when they
Yeah, I
come
was just
for
trying
you,
to figure out
they're gonna make
how
sure
stanky
Mama
was his
ain't
feet.
having an open casket funeral. They're gonna be
Yeah,
stabbing you in the eyes and everything else.
right.
But one thing
And
they
that's
did
what I'm
that
saying.
they had some honor though about the way they did shit. Here they like this you could go in and take something from a motherfucker, but if you was sneaks, they didn't like that sneak thief behind the back shit. I seen a dude get his hand slammed in the bars, broke his hand because he was stealing it behind somebody's back, sneak thieving. They didn't like that shit. Uh,
Yeah,
and
it was
you know
cool
what?
when it was simple extortion. Look here, man. We gonna protect the store. If you don't want protection, we gonna rob it. So how you gonna do this? And it
Yeah,
don't come
yeah.
back again back door and taking a little bit more off the top line, talking about no, we got the regular price. Is what they pay. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Yeah, I
at
know what you're
least
saying.
doing it, the first way, you're coming at them like a man. They just didn't like their members being sneaky like that. They just didn't.
Right.
And to me, I saw some honor in that code. Uh, and one thing I'll say about all the Mexicans, I met a lot in Arizona. I've been down in Mexico a bunch of times. And
Man,
one thing
salute,
I will
man.
say,
Hey,
huh?
when the rain that well, I gotta wait for my girl to come on, but I got you when you bad. Now I'm saluting to the chat, my boy Bad.
I
What's
wish I
up,
could see the chat.
Caleb?
Oh, I can now. Where's
What's up,
Dolly?
Phoenix?
She's a sweetheart. I love Dolly. She sent me.
Berrywood,
Here's a
what's
funny
up?
story. She sent me this thing. I got emphysema. Like pounds your back.
What happened? He fell off? All you gotta do is reconnect. Yeah, man. But like I say, what's up, DJ? At the end of the day, man, it was structure. That's what I'm saying. We gotta get back to structure. There's no structure, man. No structure. Nowhere. Nowhere. And when you try to implement structure, everybody look at you like you said something wrong. Structure is not wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then, and then it make you want to just start losing motivation and structure your own shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. But when you structure your own shit, you still gonna have obstacles. You still gonna have motherfuckers in the way. You still gonna have a motherfucker trying to take something. They said, I don't know who said it wasn't no is no honor amongst thieves, but at one time it was. At one time it was honor amongst thieves, man. But when greed came into the system, when greediness, when envy, when jealousy, when hate came into it, I mean, how can you be mad at a motherfucker that got money? And all you gotta do, now I can see, yeah, if it's a hateful motherfucker, and they doing manipulating things for you to get the money. But I'm just saying, it's been some good niggas died, man, that'll give you the money. It's been some good niggas died that then gave the money and they still killed them because it wasn't about the money. That's the hatred. Shit. You know what I'm saying? And, the I don't know if Tashunka can hear me, but all you gotta do is click back into the what you call them to jump back in, man. But yeah, man, it's just like I don't know. That's why I say right now, my mind is so much at a standstill of focus on what need to be done to make you right. As far as you can't make nobody else right but yourself. And then everything else will fall in line. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you the head. Hmm. Especially if you the head. But then sometimes actions and voices sometimes actions really do speak louder than words like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I say, it's so much corrupt, it's so much hate to right now. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta move strategically. The game shit is being played. Kendrick showed y'all that at the halftime show. Y'all think it's a game, but it's really not. It's a lot of bullshit we grew up on coming to realize, man. I'm talking about people we looked up to. We idolized some of these motherfuckers more than we idolized our own parents or people, bro. And they come out to be bullshit ass people, dog. We'll run off and shit on our family for some money, bro. Knowing that our family fucked up, knowing we can help. Know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't help everybody true enough, but I'm just saying, some of y'all just won't help. There's no way in the world if you go around here to some of these hoods where these niggas grandma and shit stay in, these niggas supposed to be rapping and all this here shit, my nigga. Come on. Well, I don't know too much, but I'm just saying other places. I don't know. I done seen houses. I can't really too much say in Houston like that, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying I done seen shit on YouTube where, come on, man. All these niggas done rapped out of all these hoods, and ain't now one of these niggas got a park, a baseball field, a football field, a rec center. Not a motherfucking thing. But you kill a nigga that's passing out turkeys in the hood though, trying to get some cookies, dog. Oh man. Just because I'm a real nigga and you a real nigga too, and my money just as long as yours, nigga, but I'm really putting my niggas on, and you really hindering your niggas. Come on, bro. See, when real niggas speak up on real shit, it don't be enough niggas shooting the guns. You know what I'm saying? But then again, sometimes that's why I say it looks bad when you gotta attack the bitch nigga first. Cause you know this nigga a bitch. And you gotta take him out because he gonna do some bitch shit, but you gonna look bad. But the bitch nigga still standing around this bitch, dog. And we see the bitch nigga. And we say and we announce and address the bitch niggas. But it's gonna be another bitch nigga gonna vouch for the bitch nigga. Just because the bitch nigga got money. It ain't he don't even like the nigga. He just trying to get some money out of the nigga, man. Niggas, these niggas, we too. Well, I say I don't be even want to talk about. And then it takes a white man to still understand how it is on both sides, bro. I'm listening to all these white people understand Kendrick Lamar halftime show, and the nigga don't know shit. These white folks and other people see the same thing I see, and the upside triangle and all this here and the triple X shit. But niggas don't see this shit because y'all, it's like we be into y'all, we be into the shit, but we be into it be so much shit niggas got going on to the point you can't keep up with the real nigga shit, though. Cause a lot of that other bullshit, these niggas just, man, come on, dog. all the celebrities, all the black men, celebrities, homosexuals. We don't even have a role model to look up to, bro. As black men, like who can we really say right now is the black man and black woman to hold like up like Martin Luther King or somebody? Who is the next motherfucker? These motherfucking kids high in the motherfucker. Why ain't even these kids getting high way higher than we was? Shit. Out of 5 niggas from 20 to I say 13, 3 of these niggas got a body, maybe more. From 20 on down. And if you're 20, I know you got a couple. But they our color though. They our color though. But then you want to go against the police force, talk about defund the police force. You better be careful talking about defund the police force because somebody got to keep you motherfuckers in line. It must be the military. You can't stop it. You niggas better listen to what's really going on, but y'all don't hear it though. Because a motherfucker with a counterfeit $20 bill get a foot put on his neck. First of all, counterfeit $20 bill. We gonna start right there. I'm not saying what they did to George Floyd was right, but still it wasn't right on the other end either. Cause I done walked out the store plenty of times with a real $20 bill and the police never was called. But we'll burn this bitch down behind that. But we won't burn this bitch down because they won't clean up the neighborhoods and they won't give our kids nothing to do after school while we out here busting our ass because we ain't making enough money. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all ready to tell me if you put me on housing, I can't have a husband in the household or y'all gonna cut my funding. And they make you fill out an application telling you how much money you make a year. Man, these motherfuckers know everything you got going on. They know what you doing right motherfucking now if they want to. Shit. It's all the game. It's been all the game. It's just like is y'all gonna keep playing the game or is it gonna I don't know, baby. But this has been another TMB with Monkey Man. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. I appreciate Tashunka because I want to hear another opinion. And this man is in the Midwest. This man in the Midwest, man. And he tired of the bullshit. His color and our color. Cause if we all come together, it'll be a bad motherfucker. Cause everybody fucked up. Everybody's fucked up. And if you ain't got no money like they got money, come on, man. All right, y'all. Be blessed.